This video was originally going to be just for Patreon. I post a lot of stuff on there, so if you're a member, even at the free level, I put some videos on there you can check out that I don't put on the main page. What I did this time was I collected those videos as I was making them, and rather than post them one at a time onto the Patreon page, I'm putting them all together right here on YouTube, so you can check them out, and then you can go over to Patreon, sign up for free, and consider moving up. Crazy Taxi, the Dreamcast. This is one of my favorite video games, and I wanted to show it to you guys very specifically because this game's got some wild product placement. There is a KFC, a Pizza Hut, and a bunch of other places, and I'm going to show it to you. I got a gaming setup right back there that you may not know about. I'm going to take you over to it right now. By the way, make sure to stay tuned. I have some other stuff coming up. Going to be talking to Leva Bates about a video she recently did on the channel. Got some bloopers from some recent videos and some behind-the-scenes stuff. Plus, I'm going to take your questions. But first, let's find somebody who wants to go to a KFC. All right, I think I'll go with this guy because I like his hat. All right, want to go to the Levi's store. This is one of the product placement places in the game. All right, here we go. Here's the Levi's store. We're going to make it. All right. All right, this guy wants to go there, but I see the KFC, so I'm going to take him to the KFC. Woo, KFC. They got a drive-through. Look at this. This is great. Look at these people just waving at the KFC. This guy. I don't know what the difference between green, red, and yellow is. But we got to go to Tower Records. We're going to run out of time. Oh, we almost made it to the Tower Records. All right. East Village. The Pizza Hut. Look at this. Look at this. Hold on. Hold on, buddy. I'm sorry. We're not taking you to your destination because there's a Pizza Hut. I got to check it out. Doing burnouts in the Pizza Hut parking lot. Oh, man. Classic Pizza Hut. I could go. I love this game. I could go to Tower Records and Pizza Hut. Uh-oh. We're not going to make it. Oh, we made it. No, 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 no. Yeah, you can drive in the water, but it does slow you down a bit. By the way, look at this. They have a fake Amoco here. AM300. Jeez, I got you there. Chill out. All right, here we go. Time's up. Bum, 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 bum.
Check out how you did today. Now let's take a look. Class E license. Game over.
All right. Take a look at this time that Cheers had. All right, so I'm going to mention a bunch of shows. Do not put the clips in. I know you're going to want to. Don't bother. Too much work. Don't do it. You got a ton of other clips in this episode. People are tuning in for Cheers, not saying elsewhere. Cliff reveals that he purchased a trip to Tahiti. Reveals that he purchased a trip to Tahiti. Oh, man. Carla makes a joke reference to E.F. Hutton, which was a stockbroker that had been founded in the 1840s. Not even close. Brokerage firm that had been founded in 1904. M wanted to join the, put this over here because I look like a crazy person. Away. All right, here we go. Come on, what is wrong with you? In the middle of the night going, no, Rhea. Cut that part out. It's not funny. So how are you?
I'm good.
All right. So I wanted to talk to you about how you snuck a swear word in on the show, which was great, which was one of the highlights of the new episode. But I searched for, I wanted to put up a picture on Patreon and say, hey, Leva Bates is going to be on and we're going to talk. I'm hearing like a terrible echo.
Really?
I searched, I wrote Guy Hutchinson and Leva Bates into Google, right? Because I wanted to pull up an image. And Google responds with the following AI overview. Guy Hutchinson and Leva Bates have appeared in multiple videos together, including taste tests of Indian drinks, cinnamon gum, and cookies.
What?
Yeah. No, and it has like all these details. It says Indian drinks. In this video, Leva helps Guy try out a variety of Indian drinks. Cinnamon gum. In this video, Guy and Leva taste different cinnamon gums to determine which one is the best for freshening breath. Cookies. Wow. Yeah. No, and then it even says WrestleMania celebrities. It says Guy and Leva have interacted on Twitter with Guy sharing videos featuring Leva, right? So I thought that was interesting. So then I went over to ChatGPT and I said, who are Guy Hutchinson and Leva Bates? And for you, it says Leva Bates is a professional wrestler known for her work in multiple promotions, including All Elite Wrestling. Goes by the name Blue Pants in WWE. Has like your whole bio, right? Okay. But for me, it says he's an American wrestling promoter, producer, and journalist, best known as a podcast on the podcast Hutchtoberfest, where he discusses wrestling and its various aspects. So I don't know what Hutchtoberfest is, but I do want to start it. So then, if I type, wait, there's more. So if I type YR, and then it says Guy Hutchinson and Leva Bates, and it does the auto fill in.
Oh my God.
You know, every option is not friends anymore, not friends, separated. Like every one is about how we're not friends. So then I asked ChatGPT, and it says, as of now, there is no publicly known available reason for the falling out between Guy Hutchinson and Leva Bates. So then I said, do they like Indian cookies? And they say, we have no information to suggest that either Guy Hutchinson or Leva Bates have any specific preferences regarding Indian cookies, right? All right. So then I said, if I had one question, I didn't want it to know I was Guy Hutchinson. I said, if I was Guy Hutchinson and I had one question that I could ask Leva Bates, what would it be? And it gave some real lame answer, like, you've created memorable cosplay, you know what? So I didn't like any of that, right? Just you've created the most memorable cosplay-inspired looks in wrestling. What is the process behind designing a new character for your in-ring persona? Terrible. So I said, can you steer the question more towards Indian cookies? And so then it gave me the following question to ask you. So I need your answer to this. Leva, you've cosplayed as so many different characters, but if you had to create a new wrestling persona inspired by your love of Indian cookies, what would it look like? And what kind of moves would you bring to the ring? So I think it's... But I think...
The cookie with the girl with the bob.
What, Parlay G? Parlay G.
Parlay G. That's who I would do. Parlay G.
You'd cosplay as the Parlay G girl?
I would be stale as...
That's right. See, now I have to tell you the question that it asked me in a minute. But so you just swore again. So here's the thing. So I don't. No, here's the thing. But nobody heard it because what I do is I just drop the audio out because I feel and my reason for that is I think that like when people are watching, I want them to feel like if grandma's over, they could put this show on. So I dropped the audio out. But on the last time we recorded, you said BS, and it snuck past me 4 times. I watched it, and on the 4th time, I was like, oh, well, that got through. And I checked the closed captioning. Even the closed captioning heard it, and I didn't.
Oh, oh
It's
no, there's
fine.
a weird like
You
aftertaste.
think?
There's a weird. Here, it may be because we've drink. Do you mind if I drink out the
Yeah,
can?
drink out of here.
Because
Yeah, you've got a lot of.
this, so maybe.
Wow. Wait, where was it?
It was towards the end. You said, "Can I rinse out this cup? It has too much bullshit in it."
Oh man, I am a potty mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Well, someone said
in my stream,
some.
I have to say you can redeem language is like the thing that Iron says to Captain America.
Language.
Yeah.
Gosh, what's your language? He redeems it all the time because apparently I have such a potty mouth.
Well, I was told. So somebody told me in the comments that people that are more educated swear more, and you are more educated than me and swear more than me. So. All right. So now the last thing I want to ask you is the question. I think we should both answer this one. So I said, if Leva Bates was able to interview Guy but only ask one question, what should she ask? And it gave a really lame, like, oh, you've been so into the wrestling industry. What memory stuck with you? Boring, right? I said, can you include Indian cookies? And so here we go. Guy, if you had to choose between spending an entire day eating nothing but Indian cookies or interviewing your favorite wrestler for an entire day, which would you choose and why? So I would think that if I have a choice between now, like my favorite wrestler, I'm not even sure who it would be that's still around. I'd like to talk to The Miz. I'd like to talk to John Cena. There's a lot of them, but I don't want to talk to them all day. I feel like after like 40 minutes, I'm done. But an entire day eating nothing but Indian cookies. I don't know. Indian cookies.
A few that were good though.
There were. All right. So the other thing I wanted to ask you about, last thing, you sent me a video. I just saw it today. You sent it to me.
Apparently there was a parade in Guatemala, and they have all these like not
Unlicensed. Yeah.
approved IP characters in this parade. So the part of the parade we saw was a lot of DreamWorks characters. So it had like Poe, Tigress, a lot of like Kung Fu Panda ones.
Yeah.
But in the middle of all of it is some guy.
I'm gonna put it on the screen right next to you. Go on.
Black t-shirt and jeans with a Vin Diesel rubber mask, and they're all doing choreography
Yeah.
together, and he is getting it.
It's brilliant.
I want there to be a Vin Diesel meet and greet character, not a face character, an animated character. I want that guy in front of the Fast and Furious ride.
All right. I think it's great.
Or DreamWorks Land. Either way, I think it's fine.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
I want you to take a look at the different levels we have here on Patreon. Everybody that signs up at the $3 level gets a membership card, and they get a postcard in the mail every month. Now, if you bump it up to $5, you still get the membership card, you still get the postcard, but I also put your name on the screen. Now, our top level is now $9. It is an envelope full of retro goodness. I have been procuring lots of awesome retro items that can fit into these envelopes. And of course, you also get the membership card, and you'll still get a postcard in the mail every month. And I shout out the people on that top level, includes my big brother Rob, Matthew Chapin, Michael and Jessica, Jamie and Tom, Al and Archer. Go ahead and sign up, please. I have a large collection of children's books. When my son was little, I used to go to the book sale at the library, which would be at the end of the book sale. They would do the bag day. And then you could bring like your canvas grocery bag and you could fill it up, and it was $1. And so I would go through the shelves and look for every book I could find that was older or looked unique or something else. And so I have a bunch. This is the Sesame Street Treasury. I now have the whole set of this one and the other one. When I was a kid, they used to do the first volume was like $1. And so my parents would always buy me the first volume of everything at the store, never any of the other volumes. So this is volume 13. So I wouldn't have read this, but I wanted to share this story. I read books now. My son's all grown up, but my nephew, I read books to him. And so I was reading him a story from this today, and I said, well, I got to share this. All right, this one is called The Terrible Tickler. The whole town of Tombstone remembers the day that the terrible tickler came riding their way. He came down the street with a look keen and steady and said, "Folks, my tickling finger is ready. Now tickling's terrific and tickling is fun, and you're all gonna be tickled before I'm done. For tickling's my pleasure, my greatest of joys. I think I'll start off with the young girls and boys." He first tickled Teddy, then Mike, Fran, and Sue, then Manuel and Mary and Algernon too. No one could escape, though they'd run and wriggle. Each one would get tickled and fall down and giggle, and soon not a boy or a girl could be found except those laughing on the ground. And there that is. "I got all the kids, now time for the others," the tickler announced. "Now come fathers and mothers." So the terrible tickler went on with his work. He got Nina the plumber and Charlie the clerk. He got Sam the barber and even the mayor, who fell down giggling right out of his chair. They put chair to rhyme with mayor, so you gotta say chair. "And as sure as 5 pennies add up to 1 nickel, there wasn't one grown-up that he didn't tickle. I've tickled the people, but I'm still not through," said the terrible tickler. "Now guess what I'll do." Well, he tickled the horses, and he tickled the cows, and he tickled the cats, and they giggled meows. He tickled the pigs and the mules and the dogs, and he tickled the chickens and even the frogs. Look at this. There he is. Then he looked all around and said, "I'm in a pickle. I'm done, and there's nobody left here to tickle. I've tickled them all now," he said with a frown. "I guess I'll just have to find a new town." So he tickled a doll sitting high on a shelf, and as he rode out of town, he tickled himself. And everyone said with a giggle and sigh, "That terrible tickler's a mean, rotten guy." And they heard him call back as he giggled with glee, "Remember that tickle begins with a T." That's it. That's the end of the story. They want my Mount Rushmore of several different subjects. First up, we got Mount Rushmore of breakfast cereals. Cracklin' Oat Bran is my favorite, so I feel like I have to put it up there, but it doesn't have a mascot, and I kind of want the heads of the mascots on the mountain. So I'm going to say we can't do Snap, Crackle, and Pop because it's 3 of them. So I'm going to say Mount Rushmore is four heads. So I think we'll go Honey Nut Cheerios B, Fred Flintstone, Tony the Tiger. You got to go Tony the Tiger, and Toucan Sam. With an unlimited budget, where would you travel for a movie location review? Easy answer, San Francisco for The Room. I've never seen The Room. You guys will probably find out that if a movie was made after 1999, the chances that I've seen it are pretty slim, and I have not seen The Room. I know that they filmed Star Wars out in Tunisia, and I've always thought that was kind of neat. Anyone want this Shawn Michaels bear? So Chris writes, "I once went to Disneyland and thunderstorms started with lightning, effectively shutting down all the rides for hours. This was in the morning. After waiting in a super long guest relation lines, I asked the cast member if we could just use our tickets and come back a different day. They said no. I said, how can you charge us when none of the rides are working? She said, Disneyland is more than just attractions. And I guess we were supposed to just hang out in the gift shop. Do you think that this is reasonable?" All right. This is a big question. I have a big answer. I mean, first thing, obviously, I wish they treated you however you wanted to be treated. I mean, I like you more than the Disney company. So Chris, I wish they, rolled out the red carpet. But here's the first thing about this is, you say that it's not reasonable for them to turn down your request for the refund. And while I agree with that, I also think the price they charge for you to get in isn't reasonable. So once you've agreed to pay them a non-reasonable amount of money to go to their park, I mean, I'm never surprised when they treat me poorly. I'm like, well, I'm clearly a sucker. They know I am. I already came here. When I was a kid, when we would drive under the archway, because we would drive down to Florida, and we drive under the Disney archway, and my dad would always go, ooh, I just felt Mickey Mouse stick his hand in my pocket and take my wallet. So I went on and discussed this with Chris at length. And first thing I thought, I got to say, I was thinking this doesn't sound right that they would shut everything down because of a thunderstorm, because I've been to Florida a million times when there have been thunderstorms, and you go in and you watch Haunted Mansion, you go, see the Country Bear Jamboree. And if there's no lightning, you can go on all the outdoor rides. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's a deluge of rain. You could be on Astro Orbiter. I mean, they only close some of them. And even when there's like lightning, they close them and they keep them closed for the shortest window possible. And then they let you back on. They're like, oh, there's been a break. Get on quick. So I found out, however, Chris is right. In California, they aren't prepared for lightning storm. Now, Chris said he believes that 15 years ago, he would have gotten treated better. Like 15 years ago, they would have just said, sure, of course, here's, come back another day. I think for starters, customer service everywhere was better 15 years ago. Well, that's going to do it for this one. I'll see you next time.